This video will demonstrate the C.R.A.P test in action. The examples here are from real life. Students were assigned to find and evaluate websites that would be appropriate for college-level academic research. We're going to take a close look at what was turned in on the topic of performance-enhancing drugs in sports. Okay, drugfreesport.com. What is this? They offer services, they have a resource center, they say they're a proven winner. This resource center sounds good for research, so let's check this out. So there's a bunch of different topics here, and each one says more. And if I click on more, I can see that there is a little bit of information, and then it's kind of a teaser, and it says learn more in the REC, the Resource Exchange Center. And this is true for each topic. Under more, it gives you a little teaser of information, and then it asks you to become a member of the site. So the letter P is in C.R.A.P is for purpose, and it seems like the purpose of the info here is to get you to buy a membership to the site. And we're not going to do that for our research. We're not going to spend money to subscribe to something. And if we click on About Us here, we can see that this organization is actually more about providing services for pay than it is about providing academic information. So the C.R.A.P test tells us this is not so good for academic research. Moving on, Sports Illustrated magazine, timeline of performance-enhancing drugs in sports. Sports Illustrated is a really well-known and widely read popular magazine. And the timeline here has a bunch of useful facts that illustrates that doping is not just a problem of the present day. I mean, hey, it goes back to 1886, and that's kind of cool information that maybe not everybody knows. And no doubt they have a team of editors and fact checkers to make sure that they don't publish incorrect information, but if I scroll to the bottom of the page, I don't see a reference list. And for an academic paper, that would be really good to see. And it helps us with the letter R, which is for reliability. The other thing that I notice is that the timeline ends in 2008. And coming back to the top, I can see it was posted in 2008, and that was the last date that it was updated. So when it comes to the historic information, currency, that's the letter C in C.R.A.P, it's not that important, not that much has changed about this information from 1886, but a lot has happened since 2008 that would be important to include in your academic paper. Okay, the Mayo Clinic. Now we're really getting somewhere. The Mayo Clinic is a known and trusted name for health information. But in case you've never heard of them before, if you go to the bottom of the page and click about this site, you can find out that this is a trustworthy collection of articles. It's written by medical professionals. It's won all these awards. And it's also interesting to me that they post their ad policy here. I don't know if you noticed they have these ads on every page of the site, which do detract somewhat from their appearance of objectivity, but by posting their ad policy, they add an element of transparency to having the ads in the first place. Coming back over here, scanning the article, we can see that there's a lot of detailed information about risks and side effects for each type of drug. And if we go to the bottom of the page, we can see, oh, this is page 1 of 2, so there's even more information on the next page. And here is their list of references. So this tells us where did they get their information and how can we track it down to verify it or to get more information on a topic if we're interested. So this site, I'm going to say, is reliable and authoritative. It gets the librarian thumbs up. So here's one more bonus site. If you look at the URL, you can see that there's a .gov in here. It's from the National Library of Medicine and the National Institutes of Health. These are very, very authoritative sources. And if you look at the actual information here, there's not a ton of information. This is a brief overview. But if you look down here at suggestions for places to get more information, these are going to be great suggestions because they come from a trusted source. So you wouldn't necessarily cite this information because there's not a lot here, but you could use these links for other articles, for multimedia, and also these links to organizations like the DEA or the Office of National Drug Control Policy. Hey, maybe those are agencies that you wouldn't have originally thought of checking, but they probably do publish data and statistics and other information fact sheets that could be really useful. So I hope this example helped you see how to apply the C.R.A.P test to evaluate sources for your research. Thanks for listening.